Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its mission? To explore strange new worlds, to discover new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Demon world.
Though the Enterprise's primary mission is peaceful exploration, the galaxy holds many surprises. To be prepared, we are conducting a mock battle with the USS Republic.
Captain Patterson reports the Republic is in position and ready to begin, Captain.
The Republic is arming weapons and raising shields. I suggest we do the same, Captain.
Arming weapons. Raising shields. Target analysis of...
The Republic is crippled, Captain.
Captain Patterson extends his congratulations, sir.
Lowering shields and disarming weapons.
Message coming in from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Jim, the Enterprise is ordered to travel to Pollux 5. The natives report that alien life forms have been attacking the settlers near a mine at Mount Idle. You are to report to the High Prelate of the colony. The settlers are members of the Acolytes of the Stars sect. The description of the attackers vary, but all say that the attackers resemble creatures from many Earth religions known as demons. Starfleet wants you to determine the nature of these creatures and to resolve the situation without bringing harm to the colonists. Starfleet out.
We have arrived at Pollux 5.
Entering standard orbit.
Pollux 5 has recently emerged from an ice age, sir. It's spring at the moment, cool but tolerable. Sensors indicate previously documented flora and fauna. Nothing unusual.
Message from High Prelate Robert Angevin, sir.
Welcome, Enterprise. The High Prelate awaits you. Please, beam down and meet with him.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
This is so much better, gentlefolk. We are honored at your presence, and hope you will find peace here in our haven.
Captain, the flora on this planet is very interesting. I wonder how useful it may be for medicinal purposes.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. We have received word that alien life forms are creating problems at your mining facilities at Idle Mountain. Tell me more. Most High Prelate Angevin, I am honored to meet you. I consider it my divine duty to assist you in any possible way with the spawn of the devil. Been seeing ghosts and boogeymen, eh? I find that a little hard to believe. I'm Captain James T. Kirk.
Certainly, Captain Kirk. Not aliens per se. We have encountered what we believe are demons at Idle Mountain. Creatures surely emerging from the very gates of hell. Our God would not test us thus without reason. So we believe your might and insight are our God's method to help us discover what is going on.
Aside from seeing demons, has any hard data been collected? Any evidence I could see? Demons, gates of hell, this is the 23rd century. Aside from seeing...
A skeptic would consider everything merely anecdotal or unproven. My people will gladly tell you their own stories, so you need not hear it secondhand through me.
What can you tell me about the mine itself? You're wasting the time of a starship capable of destroying this planet with campfire stories? No wonder you were dumped out here in the middle of nowhere. What can you tell me about...
The area is exceptionally stable tectonically, and easy for our machinery to work in, praise God. We've mined for hafnium and a variety of useful trace elements. The deeper we dig, however, the more anomalous the variety of minerals seems to be. Our Ignatiate brother Stephen has his own theories about why this might be. Either way, the anomalies inspired Brother Candry to conduct studies inside the mine. Yesterday, he reported discovering a strange door. A gate to hell, surely, for the demons caused a cave-in immediately. Candry was trapped, unconscious, and the demons prevent us from rescuing him. We can only hope he is still alive. Thank you for your courtesy, Kirk. May you receive the guidance and protection of our God as you complete this divine mission.
Jim, this man has suffered severe physical injuries to his head and arm. The wounds have been adequately cared for. However, he has developed a Nugarian infection. If not treated swiftly, the effects can be fatal. The infection can normally be treated with hypoditoxin, but there's none on the Enterprise.
I may be of some assistance. The Loraxian berry grows near the mouth of the cave. If I could acquire it, I would be able to synthesize the hypoditoxin from the berry. Unfortunately, the demons prevent us from approaching the cave entrance. Perhaps you could retrieve it for me.
You see a small explosion, and the Klingon's hand falls to the ground with a dull thud.
I guess they don't make Klingons like they used to, sir.
Federation scum!
Captain, we registered phaser fire and an unknown energy beam. Is everyone okay?
We're fine. Did you register any disruptor fire?
No, Captain. Why? Are there Klingons down there?
No, just an idea. Kirk out.
Fascinating. I begin to suspect that we have stumbled upon something that the colonists would never have uncovered.
What is it, Spock?
I wish to gather further data before making a definite conclusion, Captain.
You take the Klingon's detached hand.
This is not a Klingon, Captain. Not a real one. It is an organic construct, an android-like robot. It looks like a Klingon, but the appearance is entirely superficial. These seem to be Loraxian berries, Captain. They have several medicinal uses, but Dr. McCoy would know more.
Jim, these are the berries we need to synthesize the hypoditoxin. We must get these to Brother Stephen quickly.
You have retrieved a sample of berries.
Assume firing positions.
This man is badly hurt and suffering from shock and exposure as well. It was a near thing, but he'll live.
Oh, thank you, kind souls, for saving my life. Let me rest here for a little before returning to report this miracle to Prelate Angiven.
Fascinating, Captain. This door is made of an unknown material. It is clearly built by an alien race we have no knowledge of. It appears to be a security lock designed to open the door when the correct handprint is registered.
The fit is perfect, but something seems to be shorting out.
The settings on the RDAC 4 have already been adjusted. Simply place the berry in the machine and the hypoditoxin will be synthesized.
The machine synthesizes a quantity of hypoditoxin.
We've got to get this to Brother Chubb as quickly as possible, Jim.
What a fascinating piece of equipment. Highly advanced technology. You see here, it seems to have been damaged, however. Take it to my workbench and let's see if it can be repaired. I fear my hands are too shaky to perform such fine work, but perhaps one of you can do it.
Mr. Spock, see what you can do about that hand.
This machinery is delicate, but I have managed to repair the circuitry.
You are interested in my little museum of curiosities?
Looks like a pile of junk if you ask me. Yes, tell us about these things. Where did you find all this?
Here and there. Much of it was brought to me by others exploring widely.
Looks like a pile of junk if you... Yes, tell us about these things.
I enjoy talking about these treasures. Shall I go into mineral specimens? True curiosities, nothing more. I think they're very pretty, don't you? Shall I go into mineral specimens? Meteorite. I believe this is evidence of the cataclysm which destroyed the moon of Pollux 5 eons past. I've constructed a theoretical model based on analysis of the planet's rings of what things might have been like. I think that the moon, like Earth's moon, would have made a total eclipse of the sun possible. I would have liked to have seen that. For conditions making a perfect total eclipse are rare in the universe. Our God creates great wonders. Shall I go into mineral fossil shells? One of the oldest forms I've seen on this planet. Our God makes beautiful things indeed. Shall I go into mineral fossil skull of a small alien animal? The skull of a modern Silati, the largest creature native to this planet, about the size of a house cat from Earth. The Salatis combine a rather insectoid pattern with four-legged reptilian form, including praying mantis-like forelimbs. Shall I go into mineral skull twist of metal? This chunk of rock is a greatly weathered example of a vanadium tungsten alloy, which doesn't occur naturally. It is my best evidence that the area was previously inhabited. Shall I go into or would you rather move on to something else? Very well. I can't imagine why, but if you have a further interest in any of this, take what you like. But please remember to return my treasures when you're done with them.
Thank you. You're most kind. I headed up the party that sought to rescue Brother Kandri. Without warning, the demons appeared and attacked us as we approached the mine.
Can you tell us what they look like?
Like the demons that have plagued devout folk since before our people left the earth. Huge, muscular demons with ruddy skin, truly the manifestation of evil, with bat wings, horns and talons and a pointed tail. God preserve us all. One tore open my arm and I surely would have perished, but for my companions who bore me back down the mountain.
The demons didn't follow you?
No.
I am Brother Griznash. I went up the mountainside in solitary prayer, seeking to face my fears. Indeed, I found them. A bellowing Krognik demon with sharp teeth and a long snout descended upon me in a rush of wind.
Captain, a Krodnik demon has a decidedly wolfish appearance. Brother Grisnash, is this not the traditional shape of the Evil One and his minions among Tellarites?
It is.
I believe this may be significant, Captain.
Brother Kandre was, or is, my partner. I was on the communications link when the demons caused the rockfall and silenced him. He said he'd found a strange door with devilish writing. Truly, he came upon the gate of hell itself.
I am Brother Stephen, an Ignatiate following the holy teachings with mind and soul alike. I believe the anomalous mineral readings in combination with evidence of ancient disturbances in this otherwise highly stable geologic location indicates previous habitation of the region eons ago.
Why, Spock, you two should get along fine. He sounds just like you.
I would be equally honored to discuss medicine with you, Doctor, as science with your Vulcan associate. Let me continue. I believe our God made humans, aliens, and demons all. If I could get a real demon into my study, I would bless our God for the opportunity, as I thank him for everything in this life.
You tread close to unholy knowledge, Brother Stephen.
I appreciate your prayers, Brother Roberts. Captain, if you and your people go up the mountain, I hope afterward you will visit me in my study, which is next door. I'm too old to make the trek myself, but I'm eager for knowledge. In return, I will offer you what insights our God grants these old eyes.
The hand circuitry triggers a connection and the door opens.
Fascinating, Captain. It is a diagram of a lunar eclipse of this planet. See how the red sphere, the moon, is casting a shadow on the blue sphere, Pollux 5. This must be a very old piece of work, because this planet's moon was destroyed thousands of years ago. The machinery is waiting for the gravitational pull of another eclipse to activate it, an eclipse that will never come. And one other thing, Captain. This may also be a diagram showing the proper settings on that control panel.
Welcome to our home. Thank you for repairing our somnambutron.
Stop. You're trespassing on Federation territory. I welcome you on behalf of the United Federation of Planets. Who are you? Where you come from? We did fix your machine. Can we write the repair bill off against rent on this land? I welcome you on behalf...
We call ourselves Nowians. Thousands of years ago, we saw that meteor impacts were going to cause an ice age. We created this huge underground shelter to preserve our race, keeping us in suspended animation until the planet had recovered. We programmed the machinery to revive us at the next eclipse, but we did not count on the destruction of our moon.
Some advanced civilization. Perhaps you can tell us about the demons. Perhaps you can tell...
The demons, as you call them, are created by a machine designed to keep intruders away from our sleep chambers. It pulls from the minds of any approaching creature their most feared enemy and produces replicas to scare them away. For you and your crew, it was Klingons. For the Tellarites, a wolf demon. And for the other humans, a demon from their religion. On behalf of my people, thank you for waking us. I will turn off the machinery which creates our guardians, so that they no longer bedevil those with whom we now share our home. Oh, woe! Alas! The key is missing. I can do nothing. Even we will suffer the attacks of our own guardians unless the key can be found. I implore you, if you can help, please do so.
Jim, think about that skull we picked up from Brother Stephen. Now look at this alien. See the resemblance?
A child? No, I see many differences. This must be what our people who did not slumber have become. Still, I would like to see these remains properly interred, according to the precepts of our religion. May I keep this?
Of course. I think you will get along well with the Pollux inhabitants, and I'm sure you will have interesting theological discussions. I think I should return it to where I got it from. No, I want to keep it as a memento for myself. Of course.
You found the key. I can now turn off the machinery creating our guardians, and no more sentience shall be at risk. Surely the Holy One smiles upon us all. I have no way to thank you, Captain. But please carry this request from my people to yours. We have much ancient knowledge we can share, and we would like to join your federation. Go in peace.
I will be glad to accept your application to the Federation. We shall have a diplomatic envoy sent to make the final arrangements.
We look forward to meeting them. We also look forward to having discourse with the colonists. Farewell. May the Holy One bless you.
Live long and prosper.
Kirk to Enterprise. Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Pollux 5 and evaluate your performance at 97%. You and your crew received 3 commendation points. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed. Outstanding work, Jim.
I might have known there weren't any demons.
We all have demons of our own, Bones. The ones we can't confront are often the hardest to deal with.
These demons were based on fear, Captain. A human failing.
I don't know, Spock. Everything that I've ever read about demons describes them as having pointy ears. Hijack.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
The USS Enterprise is to report immediately to Beta Miamid. The USS Masada has failed to report as scheduled. Determine nature of delay and take whatever measures are necessary.
Set course for Beta Miamid, sir.
There is an unidentified ship closing rapidly. Weapons on and shields up.
Message coming in, sir.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Leave the Beta Miamid system immediately. You're interfering in Elasi affairs.
We are conducting a search and rescue mission for the USS Masada. It was last reported in this system. We cannot leave until we can confirm its location and condition.
So be it. You have been warned. Prepare to die.
Raising shields.
Arming weapons. They are fleeing.
The enemy ship's initial intercept course was from the last known position of the Masada. I suggest we orbit the planet for a closer sensor scan, sir.
Disarming weapons.
Lowering shields, Captain.
There she is, Captain. She does not appear to be seriously damaged. Her shields are up, and 27 life forms are aboard.
Hailing the ship, Captain.
Greetings, Federation Imperialists. I am Elasi Seraph, and I have claimed this ship as a blow for freedom against Federation tyranny.
This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. You are illegally in possession of Starfleet property. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Listen, Lassie. Hand over the ship and hostages now, or things are going to get very nasty. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Mr. Elassi, it appears that you have found something the Starfleet lost. This is Captain
the infamous Captain Kirk. The Masada is mine. You will release 25 political prisoners I specify, or I will destroy the ship and its crew. The list of those wrongfully imprisoned should be coming over to you now.
Data file captured, Captain. Computer indicates they were all convicted of piracy with various counts of murder and mayhem thrown in.
Freeing the prisoners you requested will take time. We have to track down their current locations, and Starfleet will have to grant permission to move them here. I will get that started. You should tender a show of good faith on your part. Will you beam over so we can discuss negotiations face to face? We can work together on this, Elassi. How about beaming some of the hostages over as a show of good faith? Freeing the...
What? Lower my shield so you can beam over a war party? I'm not stupid, Captain. We'll play by my rules.
So long as the shields are up, Captain, our hands are tied.
The Enterprise can overpower the Masada and take her, but the pirates would have all the time they need to kill every one of the hostages.
Will you send over data on the whereabouts and conditions of my falsely accused clansmen languishing in your dungeons, Captain?
Very well, we'll do it your way. I will put together the data packet. Kirk out. Your fellow Elassi have been tried in Federation courts of law and found guilty of their crimes. We'll listen to your complaints if you discuss them reasonably. Forget it, Elassi Seraph. You'll be the next one languishing on a Federation penal planet unless you drop your shields and surrender to me immediately. Very well, we'll do it your way.
Captain, we could use the command prefix code to lower the Masada's shields briefly, long enough for one transporter burst.
Masada, USS. A Federation tug tender, registry NCC 293391. Currently under the command of Captain Kevin Keeler. Crew complement of 17. Primary mission, tow, repair of disabled ships. Its input override code is 293397736-3829.
Sending prefix and lowering the Masada's shields.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
The transporter bay has been damaged in a recent firefight.
I am registering energy residue from phaser fire and phaser grenade detonations. There are readings of another energy weapon, but the type is unknown.
He's not hurt badly. I can revive him.
Thank you, Doctor. Be careful, Captain. The Elassi like to set booby traps. If you need any equipment, I've got my tools in this workspace.
The controls have been virtually destroyed, Captain.
Can they be repaired, Spock?
With Chief Engineer Scott's assistance, I believe we could get them in perfect working order in 2 days.
Spock, we don't have 2 days. If we can repair the transporter, we might be able to transport onto the bridge and capture the Elassi.
I can attempt to jury-rig repairs if I can find parts. However, there is only a 67.357% probability of success.
I've always been a gambler, Spock. Figure out what you'll need.
A tangle of mangled equipment reduced to junk. There are the remains of 5 phasers without power packs, a drained phaser welder, and scraps of wire and uncertain bits of metal junk.
A force field of unusual configurations has been erected in front of the doorway which leads into the bridge. I don't think it would be healthy to approach too closely, Captain.
Phaser welder is now charged.
I think that does it. A comb bit for the transmogrifier. Now I can continue repairs on the transporter controls. The parts fit together satisfactorily.
Hey, what are you doing here?
You are in the brig of the Masada. 9 of the crew members are held in the cell. 2 Alasi guards lie on the floor.
The crew is tired and has elevated signs from extreme stress, but they will survive.
A bomb located just inside the force field.
A medium-strength phaser bomb. The brig force field would contain the explosion, but it would kill the crew members within the cell. I recommend that we find a way of disarming it, Captain. There. I believe the bomb is now defused, Captain. Captain, this wiring may prove useful in repairing the transporter.
Thank you for freeing us, Captain. We'll secure the area so they don't come up behind you. We've had electrical problems with our door to our bridge, Captain. The Alasi don't know we put an electric shutdown device. You'd never find it by chance. But if you used a charged phaser welder 2 feet to the left of the door and 1 foot off the ground, you might be able to shut down the force field and get a jump on the Alasi.
That did it. The field is deactivated, Captain. I attach these here. Now, all I need is a spare length of wiring. The controls are set for just inside the bridge door, Captain.
Mr. Spock, you're a genius.
I wouldn't go that far, Jim. But I do have to congratulate you, Mr. Spock. Now we can really risk shooting our atoms around the universe. Is this really necessary, Jim?
Analysis, Lieutenant Christensen.
Security analysis, sir. If we transport onto the bridge, we'll have the drop on them. Assuming Mr. Spock has the transporter working properly. If we could get past the force field on the door of the bridge, we should be able to surprise them for sure. Since we have a bomb, Captain, we could rearm it, transport it onto the bridge, and perhaps the Alasi will flee into the hallway. Then we could capture them.
And any hostages on the bridge will be killed when the bomb goes off. No, Jim, that's inhuman.
To say nothing of the possible damage to the bridge controls.
I'm going to have a word for you, Spock, if we appear inside the door. It's over, Seraph. Surrender, and I'll guarantee the lives of you and your crew. Freeze. Don't even think about it. Check and mate, Elasi. Don't do anything foolish. It's over.
You are an honorable and worthy opponent, Kirk. I accept your offer.
Scotty, beam down a security team to the bridge. We have regained control. Mr. Scott, beam us out of here.
Aye, Captain.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Beta Mayanid and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
Trying to hold a Federation starship captive. Can you believe it?
Since we just witnessed that very event, Doctor, I'm surprised you asked.
It was a rhetorical question, Spock.
That took quite a bit of organization to seize a starship. Think we'll see more of the Elasi pirates?
Undoubtedly, Captain. I suspect they have considerable resources to draw on.
So do I. Sulu, take us out of here.
Love's labor jeopardized.
Priority message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
A raid across the Romulan neutral zone has placed Starfleet Research Station ARC-7 in jeopardy. Proceed immediately to ARC-7 and determine the status of the station. Good luck, Jim.
We have arrived at ARC-7. Romulan ship decloaking, Captain.
Message from the Romulan ship, sir.
Treachery. We are aware of Federation plans. Prepare to die.
They're arming weapons, Captain.
Arming weapons. Raising shields.
They activated a self-destruct device rather than be captured, Captain.
Resuming course to ARC-7, Captain.
Captain, there is an auto beacon broadcasting from the station.
Warning. As per UFP Regulation 342-1888564.3, Paragraph 3, this base is currently under a Class 3 biohazard alert. All personnel are ordered to stay away from this base unless they are part of a biohazard response team.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Disarming weapons.
Captain, sensors indicate a breathable atmosphere in the space station. It seems that whatever ARC-7's intentions, it managed to create a biohazard that is deadly to Romulans. 17 humans and 10 Romulans are on the station. The humans are all in perfect health, so it seems we can beam over without any fear of contamination.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the car.
A Romulan bird of prey hovers menacingly on the view screen.
Nothing unusual is detected.
I'm picking up some kind of virus. I can't identify it without more information.
Dr. Marcus Log. Supplemental. Continued testing of the Ouroboros virus confirms its potential harmful effects on Romulan Vulcan humanoids. As soon as the spill has been cleaned up, we will sterilize both labs and purge the circulation system to make sure no traces of the virus will remain viable. Then all research files must be erased. We must leave no chance that this terrible accident will ever be repeated.
Doctor, you may be interested in the medical data file appended to the log.
Now that's interesting. There's more here. All of Dr. Marcus' research data on the Ouroboros virus. Let me see. Virus growth patterns. Pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype. Alveoli involvement in... Boy, Jim, this bug works fast.
Is this really the time to catch up on your reading, Doctor?
Now listen here, you pointy-eared...
Gentlemen, I think we have more pressing problems.
Jim, there is an appended medical database online. Also, it would be useful for me to experiment on how the virus grows in the presence of different gases. I'm sure the station has the necessary equipment.
Please select subject file. Ouroboros virus. Ouroboros virus. Atypical growth patterns for L-type virus. Opportunistic pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype. Etiology: contact or airborne vector with alveoli microcollapse. Involvement immediately upon exposure. Tissue dehydration follows pneumal flooding. Mortality: 0.6 in 1.0 stardates. 1.0 within 2.0 stardates treatment, none. Named for the mythic world snake that swallows its own tail. Please select subject file. Ouroboros TLTDH gas. TLTDH gas. The chemical compound. Tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless. Odorless. Non-flammable. Gaseous at 1 atm. And temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among Vulcans and Romulans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria, sometimes leading to unconsciousness. In post-industrial pre-spaceflight era, a social problem evolved when crude TLTDH became popular to cook up from non-conductive tantolithial compounds commonly used as electrical insulation. Please select subject file. Ouroboros nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide. A colorless non-flammable compound. N2O. Gaseous at 1 atm and temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among humans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria, sometimes leading to unconsciousness. Please select subject file. Ouroboros ammonia. Ammonia. A colorless pungent compound, NH3, a common byproduct of metabolism in carbon-based life forms, liquid or gaseous at 1 atm. Compounds widely used in agricultural, medical, and industrial applications. Please select subject file. Ouroboros dihydrogen oxide. Dihydrogen oxide, a colorless, tasteless, non-flammable compound, H2O. Water. Liquid, solid, or gaseous at 1 atm. Temperature scales defined in most humanoid cultures by state shift of pure water. Please select subject file. Ouroboros exit database.
You take the anti-grav unit. You take the Ouroboros virus culture. You pick up a large wrench. The panel opens. You see a gas tank labeled N2 with its feed lines running deeper into the wall. The tank detaches easily.
Guess this made it easier to replace the tank every so often, eh, Captain?
The vent is now open. It leads to the lower deck. The panel is open. You see vast quantities of dust and stripped insulation from wiring repairs made to the console in the past. You grab a handful of insulation. You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely.
It sure beats hauling it around on our backs, sir.
You have distilled a quantity of polyberyl carbonate. Nothing happens. Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of pure water.
A clean drink of water, but I don't see its application in the context of our difficulties, Captain.
You take a 1-liter container of pure water. Nothing happens. The machine synthesizes 1 liter of TLTDH gas.
An unusual compound, Captain. It can induce laughter and feelings of exhilaration in some, much the way nitrous oxide affects humans.
It doesn't affect Vulcans, of course.
Actually, Doctor, both Romulans and Vulcans suffer its effects.
Why, that's just dandy. Vulcan laughing gas.
Please, Doctor, this is not a laughing matter.
You take a 1-liter container of TLTDH gas. Gas feed is off. You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely. You install the gas tank to the synthesizer's feed lines. Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of ammonia.
I hope you don't want me to swab the deck with that, Captain.
I think we can set this aside and not worry about it.
You take a 1-liter container of ammonia.
Eureka, this is it, Jim. There's not much, but all I need to do is synthesize some more, and we're in business.
You retrieve the Ouroboros cure sample. You take the hypo with Ouroboros toxin cure.
There, you're now cured.
Thank you, Doctor.
Finally, a human response. I don't suppose you'd enjoy the psychological release of a few good belly laughs, Spock. We could open the canister right here, if you like.
I would strongly recommend against it, Doctor.
With a hiss, the Romulan laughing gas billows down the vent. You hear the muffled sounds through the vent of hearty Romulan laughter, followed by the dull thud of bodies hitting the deck. The Romulans stir weakly, then begin to get up. They've all been cured.
They're severely dehydrated, but they'll live. We got to them in time.
The Romulans drink thirstily and empty the container.
Take it easy now. You'll feel better in a few minutes. Good thing we had the water available, Jim.
We aren't barbarians, in spite of what some people think.
Gas feed is off. You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely. You install the gas tank to the synthesizer's feed lines. Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of pure water.
A clean drink of water, but I don't see its application in the context of our difficulties, Captain.
You take a 1-liter container of pure water. The Romulan Preax stirs weakly, then begins to get up. He has been cured.
He's severely dehydrated, but he'll live.
The Romulan Preax drinks thirstily and empties the container.
Take it easy now. You'll feel better in a few minutes. Good thing we had the water available, Jim.
We aren't barbarians, in spite of what some might think.
Thank God it's you, Jim. I'm so glad you came. Thank you for saving our station, Jim.
It's about time someone got here.
Fascinating. This device contains over 10 million forms of life. Patterns I have never seen before.
We call this the Cradle, Mr. Spock. One day I hope something wonderful would be produced here.
I have called off the Romulan attack on this station, Kirk. I believed your virus was some kind of deliberate attack, but your great honor and compassion have convinced me otherwise.
You also conducted yourself in the most honorable fashion, Centurion Preax. You may return to Romulan space without Federation interference. I assure you, the Federation would never undertake such a foul program. It was all an accident, right, Dr. Marcus? Save it for someone who's buying, Preax. Leave Federation space immediately or we'll scatter your atoms across the quadrant. You also
You are an honorable adversary, Kirk. Jolon true.
You are also a worthy opponent, Preax. May you live long and prosper.
You'll never cease to amaze me, Jim.
Goodbye, Carol.
Goodbye, Jim.
Well, gentlemen, let's go home.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Arc 7 and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I wonder if I'll see Carol again.
Well, if you don't, you can always drown your sorrow in some Romulan ale.
That's illegal, Bones.
Tell that to the Romulans, Jim. I found a whole case they brought on board the Arc 7.
They'll never replace Scotch, Captain.
That it won't, Mr. Scott.
Another fine mess.
Priority message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have reports of an undetermined number of Elasi pirate ships in your sector. You are ordered to proceed to the Harlequin star system immediately and investigate. Starfleet out.
We have arrived at Harlequin. 2 Elasi ships approaching fact, Captain. I'm also picking up an ion trail from a small ship, probably a scout. It left the sector just as we arrived. It appears likely that we interrupted the pirate attack on the scout.
Message from the Elasi captain, sir.
We'll show you what happens to those who come between us and our prey. Prepare to die!
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
Trail of the scout ship leads to the Harlequin system, Captain.
Picking up the subspace signal, sir. It's very weak.
Patch it through, Lieutenant.
Enterprise? Is that you, Kirk? Friend Kirk, I can't believe they sent you to rescue me.
That sounds like... No, please, say it isn't.
I have a visual signal now, sir.
You come to help me, Kirk. You've got to help me. I have had a terrible misunderstanding with the Elasi traders. They're out to kill me, Kirk.
Fancy that.
Now see here, Kirk. I sold my Muds miraculogrammas in perfectly good faith. A little sideline work, you understand? Now they won't leave me alone. No. They're tracking me again. I can't send coordinates. You have to come protect me. I'm a registered ship with the Federation. Mud out.
I'm afraid his ship is registered, Captain, and regulations require we respond to his distress signal.
Target analysis on. Target analysis on. Lowering shields, Captain.
Disarming weapons.
The Harappan system is binary, with a neutron pulsar in the vicinity causing difficulties with our sensor readings. I was able to trace Mud's transmission to this derelict.
So, our friend Harry is on board, no doubt. Can you tell me anything about the derelict vessel?
There are 6 major subdivisions within the hull. All systems are down. There is, however, limited atmospheric integrity. The environment appears to be the result of a temporary save-a-ship life support generator. Not exactly a reliable model, Captain.
We're being hailed by Mr. Mudd, sir.
Captain, you came. I'm touched.
Harry, I have to be touched in the head to have anything to do with you. How's your lovely wife, Stella?
That was a dirty trick, Kirk. However, you'll be glad to know I let bygones be bygones. If the Enterprise will stand by and fend off any pirates, I'll just finish my salvage operations here and be out of your hair.
Computer records document that you filed notice that there was no salvageable value here, and that the ship was a common passenger tug.
Did I say no value? Minimal, Captain, minimal. I meant nothing but promising when I filed the report. We both know my judgment isn't always perfect.
I would say your judgment is never perfect, Harry. Perhaps we should beam over and judge the situation for ourselves.
Ah, that isn't necessary, Kirk. I can handle...
Harry, relax. We're old friends. We'll understand if things aren't picked up and looking neat. Kirk out. Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the car.
Welcome, Captain Kirk. So glad you're here. The Alazi have been terrible trouble to me.
Well, you're terrible trouble to me, Harry. Tell me what this is all about.
I happened upon this ship not long ago and dutifully registered as salvage, mind you. In the hold here, I discovered one of these devices in that box over there. When I tried one on a wall, it floated off the grease and dirt. Perfect for cleaning, near as I could see. I peddled a few of these Mud's miracle degrimers, and everything was going perfectly well.
Then something went wrong, right?
Actually, no, Doctor, not then. I'd started offering a few other little items I found. Mud's limited coffee substitute, a great little specialty item. Lenses to a firm packaging build-your-own telescope kits. The collection of novelty paints, things like that. All of a sudden, the Alazi pirates are asking for me in every quadrant, wanting to know where I'm getting my goods.
I see, Harry. Well, we'll look around here while the Enterprise remains close by.
Look around all you like, Captain, but I'll be keeping an eye on you. I've registered this derelict as my salvage, and I don't want you running off with all my prizes.
Harry, as official representatives of the Federation and of Starfleet, we recognize your rights to legitimate salvage. Need I say more?
I understand perfectly, Captain. You carry on, Captain.
A small energy device with a flanged opening at the front, about the size of one's thumbnail.
These are computer memory transfer media, probably designed for use with the alien computer system.
This lens, about the size of one's thumbnail, magnifies like a fine optical glass. Done. 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 These two things fit together like they were made for each other.
Well, Now, I think we know why the Alassi pirates were so interested in finding out where Mudd was getting these.
The room reminds you of the weapons room of some old-style warships from the early days of starfaring.
A weapons delivery system. It appears to be an accessory tied directly to the alien equivalent of our ship's phasers and photon torpedoes. Unique, Captain. I believe these are self-referencing packed quantum cartridges.
Power boosters! Oh, I've read about those, but they're just theoretical.
Evidently, these are more than theoretical, Lieutenant Buchert. The energy initially released is infinitesimally small, but boosts itself until the power finally released is comparable to our photon torpedoes.
The technical journals discussing the possibilities indicated it would create a weapon of greater range than those we have now, if not a greater punch.
The machinery to deliver these cartridges would be an engineering feat as well, Captain. The control panel has power running to it, Captain. The device has finished loading, Captain. I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through the main weapons battery. However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship was completely destroyed in the action, which made her a derelict. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but I would recommend we try to take this weapon with us to the Enterprise.
I don't think we should tinker with technology we don't understand, Spock, and I'm surprised you'd suggest such a thing. I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise. I agree that I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
This room closely resembles the Enterprise sickbay. The beds are powered, as is the central post console. Nothing to report.
It would be interesting to analyze them back aboard the Enterprise, but these are probably vaccines, medicines, and research viruses.
Do they pose any threat to us, Doctor?
None seems likely to have any effect on human or Vulcan physiology. To be on the safe side, though, I wouldn't recommend taking a snootful from one of the capsules.
This is clearly the control center for the ship, Captain. I cannot deduce much information, but I do observe two things.
Go on, Mr. Spock.
This station definitely is configured differently from the one beside me.
This shouldn't be surprising. After all, there are two stations.
That may be, Doctor. But if you'll recall, all the Enterprise's different stations link into the same computer network bank, and...
What else can you determine at this stage, Mr. Spock?
These people have a fixation for the number 6, and even divisors and multiplicans thereof. 3s and 12s in particular. I believe this may be the necessary first clue to understanding the aliens.
The sphere in the middle of this console appears to be some sort of control mechanism.
This seems to activate the ship's computer bank control node. Given the aliens' predilection for multiples of 3, it may be possible to use our tricorders to decipher the information carried in these data banks.
That would be quite a find, Jim. This is an alien race unknown to us, and they are certain to have knowledge new to us.
Were the universal translator available, this would be simple.
With the Enterprise out of range, that's not an option, Mr. Spock. What else can you do?
I believe if Dr. McCoy and I conjoin our two tricorders, we may be able to process enough sample data to get a basic understanding of the alien's computer system. This will completely tie up both our tricorders for an extended amount of time, however. Both our tricorders are now working on basic processing of the alien's computer data system. The tricorders are not the equal of the universal translator, but we should be able to retrieve basic information and get an insight into their culture and life systems. I don't believe we could have gotten even this far had we not deduced their fixation on base 6 mathematics and aesthetics. The tricorders are again available for general use. The alien ship's computer data is now accessible from the ship's library. I believe I have downloaded enough information to our tricorders to enable operation of most of the ship's controls, Captain. Not all topics will necessarily be available, Captain, nor do I believe we can get full details on all data. The tricorders could only do so much processing. It would be worth our effort to locate the central data banks for delivery to the Qo'noS Life Sciences University, I believe.
To say nothing of fulfilling our mandate to seek out new life and new civilizations.
I'm receiving data now, Captain. Most internal and external functions are controlled from the bridge. These include engineering, navigation, communications, and sensors. Weapons functions are controlled from the weapons room. I have found an entry on an experimental long-range weapon booster recently installed, named the Qo'noS weapon. It does not alter the power of the primary weapon systems, but it does increase the range at which those weapons are effective. I believe I can produce a picture of a member of their race, Captain.
By all means, Spock.
Look at their physiology, Jim. I think this explains the Lashaeans' fascination with 3s and 6s.
It should be no surprise that physiology affects mind and behavior. I would say a 6-fingered, 6-eyed people would naturally develop their sciences and arts around base 6 numerical systems, just as I observed on the bridge.
Medical knowledge is comprehensive and lifespan is extended considerably over archaic expectations with maintenance of quality of life. Interesting data here about the 6-eyed vision processing in the brain. Their eyesight must have been excellent and almost 300 degrees around.
You download major portions of the alien library onto the yellow spheroid.
Why, Captain!
Jim, that doesn't look good at all. Harry, let me take a look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
No, you're all space aliens. You're little gray men from inside the hollow earth. You want to experiment on my body parts. Stay away from me!
Deleterious effects. I guess I don't even need my tricorder to know that.
You'll mind control me, kidnap my children, dissect my dog.
If we can get him on one of the beds and get it active, I think he can be cured. Otherwise, he's likely to become increasingly violent.
Stay away from me!
I don't think the phaser will have the usual effect, Captain. We'll have to think of something else.
Yaha! I feel faster, smarter, strong enough to take you all on! You're really lizard men wearing human masks. His is coming off! I know you for what you really are! I'll tell the whole world, and then where will you be?
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
There's nothing there requiring a ship's doctor. It would be interesting to analyze them back aboard the Enterprise, but these are probably vaccines, medicines, and research viruses.
Do they pose any threat to us, Doctor?
None seems likely to have any effect on human or Vulcan physiology. To be on the safe side, though, I wouldn't recommend taking a snootful from one of the capsules. The capsules slide into the machinery on the bed exactly as they're designed to. I'm telling the program, our physiology is not the same as the aliens' physiology. Don't want it to try to cure us of being human.
That would be too much to hope for, would it not, Doctor?
Particularly when we're talking about Harry Mudd. Okay, Harry, you should start to feel better in a few minutes. Just lie there quietly until you feel like moving.
Oh, give me something for this headache, Doc. A herd of Amari tree elephants landed behind my eyeballs and did a mating dance.
This is the secondary station. With the limited understanding we now have of the library computer data, these controls can now be activated. Available are sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Elassie pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. I read debris identifiable with the pirates, but they continue to harass the Enterprise. Sensors. Navigation. The computer reports this ship is incapable of navigating anywhere at all without major repairs. We are definitely dead in space until the Enterprise returns, Captain. Sensors. Engineering. The engine pods are damaged but still generating power, Captain. Sensors. Done. Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
communications. View screen. I guess the universe looks about like it did the last time we saw it. Communications. Scotty, report.
The Elassie pirates have been driven off, Captain. We have damage and injuries among the crew. We just arrived back here a few minutes ago, and we've been trying to raise you on the communicators.
The local star seems to be acting up. Will there be a problem with the transporter? I want you to beam up the landing party, and I also want you to lock onto and beam aboard an alien mechanism we came across.
We can do it, Captain, no problem. At least right now, but the situation is only going to get worse. Are you ready to beam over now?
No, we want to look around some more. We'll call you on this channel when we're ready. Yes, bring us home, Mr. Scott. No, I need to have a word with Harry Mudd before we go. No, we want to look around some more.
Why, Captain, I see you got this machine to work. I tried to get it up and running for the longest time.
Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge is for everyone. Get away from that this instant, Harry, or I'll shoot you where you stand. Help yourself, Harry.
Why, Kirk, I didn't think you had it in you. Thank you.
Databanks erased.
It appears our good friend, Harry Mudd, has crashed the main computers. I doubt if it was a very easy thing to manage.
Spock, we're talking about Harry Mudd. He was probably trying to download it so he could sell it to the highest bidder.
And instead, he wiped the memory. That knowledge was priceless.
At least our life support system isn't dependent on the alien computer.
I believe, Captain, that the basic functions of the ship remain even now. This is the library module. The art, history, and cultural memory of the aliens are gone, but the mechanical necessities of sickbay, engineering, and sensors continue to work.
But their essence, their souls, are gone, Spock.
Illogical, Captain. This race has been extinct for millennia. Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
communications. New developments, Mr. Scott?
The neutron star is causing more and more problems, Captain. I would recommend beaming over at your earliest possible convenience.
Later, Mr. Scott. Very well, bring us home, Mr. Scott. No, I need to have a word with Harry Mudd before we go.
Captain Kirk, I was hoping to see you. I'm leaving soon and wanted to say thanks for the escort. Ta-ta! And I hope we never have to cross paths again, Captain.
Don't rush off, Harry. There's still a few things we need to discuss. In such a hurry? And Stella said she was dropping everything to meet you here. Don't rush off, Harry. You destroyed the only known records of a lost race. That's a punishable offense. You were selling high-technology weapons to terrorists and known criminals. Tell me why I shouldn't arrest you on the spot just on general principles.
Because I'm going to turn over a selection of samples to the Qo'noS Life Sciences University.
For free?
Of course. One of everything I've found here.
5 of each.
Captain! 2.
5. Remember, I could confiscate your entire stock as illegal goods. You might get it back through the courts in a few years.
You drive a hard bargain, Captain. It's a deal.
You have no idea what a great bargain it is, Mudd.
I understand. No problem. Adieu, Captain.
Bring us home, Mr. Scott.
We have read your report on the problems at Harapan and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I wired in that alien contraption to the torpedo system. It should boost the ship's firepower, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. I only wish you could wire Harry Mudd to a photon torpedo.
While you were away, Captain, I made some travel arrangements that I thought you would approve of.
Travel arrangements?
I think you'll be happy to know that I've arranged for Stella Mudd to meet her long-lost husband on Starbase 7, sir.
Approved, Lieutenant. Take us out of here, Mr. Saru.
Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakow, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discover what happened on Krakow before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
Orders are to proceed to the Digifal system.